something real quick?
Please.
Let me add. So when she asked me to do this with her today, I was like, well, heck yeah, of course I will. And she's like, she just said, we're going to keep it short and sweet. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could talk for like hours about this business. But y'all, it all comes down to the simplicity of it. Like we can make it so complicated, but there are so many new people that have come into this company lately. And it's like, there is something to be said about ignorance on fire. Ignorance on fire. Like when I started in this business, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Literally had no idea. I left the meeting, Jennifer, got 6 customers on my way home. Like crazy, because I was so excited. Then I didn't realize they had to sign up on the website. So I was like, oh crap. Like I'm gonna need y'all to do that too. So you're gonna have to commit to 2 months. Like I started doing 2 monthly customers before it was even a thing, right? But I didn't know, and it didn't stop me. Quit being the person that has to figure everything out, because y'all, as you learn more information, sometimes it just complicates things. So there is something to be said about new people and having that ignorance on fire, because you're just so excited that you want to share it with everyone. So don't lose that as you've been in the business for so long. So with that, Jennifer and I kind of talked about an order of how we wanted to do this. And when we go into the office, it doesn't matter what skill set we're talking about, what promos going on, what's going on in the business, where our numbers are, how many customers we have. It all anchors to your why. Andy, our CEO, is so big on this. If you don't know your reason why you have joined this business, and it's going to change, it's going to evolve. And right now you're like, Erin, I joined this business because I got to pay for diapers for next Friday, for my kids or whatever. That might be your short-term why right now. That's not your deep emotional connection to this. That won't keep you in it, because I promise, if that's all it is, like there's so much more depth to go into that. But when you get started, there's a reason there's this get list checklist that Steve Schultz has provided in our back office. I have it printed. I have notes all over mine, but I think even if you've been in this company for a year, 2 years, I say every month, print a new one of these. There is no leader in this company that is big enough that they shouldn't be doing the exact same thing that a new person is doing. And if they are, if they're not doing those things, shame on them. They'll be exposed soon. But I'm just saying, like, I am in the field. I am sample, story, sort, just like you are. But also, I work on my why all the time. And I know when I wake up in the morning, sometimes I don't want to wake up and get on the call, even though Jennifer kicked ass this morning on the call. I have to say that. Sometimes I don't want to wake up, or sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to do follow-ups today. Like, that's not my favorite thing to do. I'll tell you right now, it's not my favorite thing to do, but I do it because my why is so intact that I'm going to do whatever it takes, because I'm disciplined enough to do it, because I have goals set. So that's the first thing you need to do, is write down that why and go deeper. Ask yourself again and again and again. Probably, what do you say, Jennifer? 6 times? Is that what we say? 6 levels deep. She'd probably say more.
Yeah. And I just think, piggybacking on what you said is, there's a lot of people, I feel like, that want to get all their questions answered. And Andy's been talking a lot about sharpening the axe in our meetings, of preparing yourself and priming yourself and getting ready and doing all the things, whether it be, I don't know, getting on the calls and plugging in and all of the things that go along with this business. But you can get ready your whole life if you don't take action, even when there's not a promo. Even though there's not a promo today, $50 is $50. Like, if someone doesn't see that they can get a business for $100, like, we've got to show them like what they get with all of that. So you're just like Erin said, your why has to be such an anchor for you in this industry, in this business, every single day. And you know why? Because you're going to have days where you're like, well, I'll take off today, and then a little bit tomorrow, and a little bit the next day. And what you do is you freaking kill your momentum. And you don't want to do that. Like, you want to keep this ball rolling. This is a momentum ball. I talk about this all the time about your Ferris wheel. You want to keep it full of people. You want the Ferris wheel to never stop, because that is your business and that's your income. And when you are treating this like a career, you can have, Erin said this before, like a doctor that's a surgeon, you can make more than surgeons in this. Like, she talks about that used to be her profession, and being a nurse, and she's like, I can make more than the doctors. Like, this is crazy.
With less in insurance, for sure.
Yeah.
But with that, on that sheet, so as long as you start working on your why, and if you need help with that, like I can help you. Jennifer is way better at it. I'm telling you, it is a gift of hers. She is so great at it. I love listening to you dig into people and work with people, and like really that passion that you have for that. I'm inspired by that. So she can help you with that too. But that's what I would definitely start with. And then from that sheet, those are your goals. The companies kind of set goals for you, because you might be like, well, where do I go from here? Like, I don't understand. They said this is so simple. This sheet is simple. It's one page. So there are some people that want to come in here, their why's so big, and they're like, I'm running to senior. And we slow them down because we're like, well, just share your samples and focus on getting a customer today. There are some people that come in here and I'm like when I joined, I was like 38 customers my first month and I took off. There are some people that life happens. Give yourself some grace. That's the cool thing about this business. Don't beat yourself up. Some people are like, I'm just an EBI. No, you are a freaking EBI. Like, own that. It's amazing. It doesn't matter where you are. Like, start, change lives, and set those little goals. But that's the cool thing in what we're doing now. You can start over at any moment. Sometimes I fire myself 5 times a day and I start over, and you can do that, and that's okay. But the goals on this sheet are just a guideline. So you can go bigger, you can go smaller, you can set your own pace. So I always ask people, like, are you happy with the pace of your business? If not, then do more of it. If you're doing too much, cut back a little bit. Like, that is up to you. You get to own and operate this business as your own. And I think that's a pretty cool thing, because sometimes you're just so busy in life, but this business was created to bring along with you. So with that, also, it's just important to know what those daily actions are that you're going to do every single morning. So for me, and Jennifer, I don't know exactly what your like DMO is. Everybody has a DMO that's kind of for them. Like, I know when I was working 12-hour shifts, my DMO wasn't the same every day, because the days I was working 12 hours, I wasn't doing the same days that I was off all day. So you kind of make it to what fits your schedule. But for me, like, I like to make 30 new connections. And when I say that, that's not just like a message to somebody. That's a connection to where someone has responded back to me and we have a conversation going back and forth. But you might have 2 connections a day. Y'all, if you have 1 connection a day, that's 30 people for the month. Like, just bring it down to 1. I mean, I can't really half that, because I don't know that there's half a person, but I'm just saying 1 person a day. That's, I mean, 1 person every 2 days, I guess, but 1 person a day. You can reach out to 1 person a day. Here's the coolest thing about this. It isn't about you. It really isn't. It isn't about you. So what you can start doing, because you're like, what do I say to them? Do I cold message someone? How do I do this? Like, this is weird. Y'all, don't make it weird. Make it about that person. And Jennifer is so good at this, and I believe she already did a training on this with y'all, was discovery and asking questions. Here's the thing. I might run into Jennifer in a Starbucks, which is weird, because why would I be buying coffee when I drink my smart coffee? I'm just kidding. I still drink Starbucks every once in a while. But like, we might just strike up a conversation. Y'all, I never, ever walk up to someone and I'm like, hey, I'm with Revital. You should try this coffee. Like, that's weird. They're going to think you're weird. But when you start a genuine conversation with somebody, you know what they tell you? If you keep asking questions, and that's what I always think. I'm like, just back up a little bit, Erin. Don't get so excited to share everything with them. Ask them some questions. Lead with the benefit, with the business in mind. Let me say that again. The benefits with the business in mind. You are training someone the moment you meet them. But so if I ran into Jennifer, I would just listen to her. And it may not lead ever into a conversation about Revital U or the benefits. More than likely, though, she's going to tell me something about being tired, or she doesn't like her job, or COVID sucked and she got sick. Hello, immunity. Am I asleep? You know, blah, blah, blah. People love to talk about themselves. So when you ask questions, smart questions that lead them into the way we want them to answer, then it's going to open it up. So be ready. Here's the weird thing, though. If I asked you right now, and I'm going to ask you, but I don't want you to tell me. If I asked you right now, what do? You have it? You got it ready to answer? That's not weird? Like, if I ran into you in an elevator and I'm like, hey, what do? And you're like, yeah, I used to be a nurse, but now, like, I take these products. Like, you sound silly. You don't know what you do. That's not confident. They're going to follow you because do you sound like they're going to trust you? You're kind of know what you do. You don't. I want you to mark that down on your paper right now. Practice what you do. I don't care if you say, I'm with a health and wellness product. Coach says, I change lives. That's what he says. And that works for him. For me, it doesn't. Like, I've been actually trying to critique mine a little bit, change it up a little bit. Like, I like to say, I share shortcuts to success with health and wellness products, or with health and wealth. Like, and they're kind of like, what'd she just say? What does that mean? Because if you say, I'm with health and wellness, they're like, network marketer. So try to create something, but be ready for it. Because if you're not ready for it, guess what you're going to do? You're going to not answer it. You're going to revert back to something that feels comfortable. So the only way y'all can get this down is if you practice it. Just go in the bathroom, say it to yourself in the mirror. What do you do? Oh yeah, I blah, blah, blah. But that's where you have to be creative, and you have to feel confident in this, and people feel that. But I also want you to be genuine in your truth. That's one thing with Revital U, is we are authentic. We are genuine. Don't bullshit how much money you make. Don't bullshit how much money you make. If that's what you start saying, that's what they're going to feel like they have to make. And they might not make what you make. Like, we have to keep it real here, y'all. We have products that are real, with real ingredients that are changing real lives. But if we say like, oh my gosh, I lost 500 pounds with this product, you're lying. Like, don't lie. Let's be real. All right. So please, 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 if I can beg y'all one thing today, please keep the integrity of our company where it should be. All right. And the people that don't have that, they'll just fall on out, and it'll be, we'll be able to run together with the right people. So anyways, okay. I don't even know, Jennifer, I'm sorry. Our outline sometimes doesn't work for me.
No, it's perfect. You're doing amazing. And, just like what you said, as far as, just being genuine and being yourself and practice. Like, if you're scared to even look in the mirror and practice, talking about what you do in that confidence, grab somebody and get on a Facebook Live, or create a room and, not a room, but like a chat room type thing, and start practicing with each other until you feel so confident about what you do and how you talk to somebody about it, whether it's a stranger, whether it's someone online. Like, there's multiple ways to do this business. Not all of us do it the same way. And that is the beauty of our company. And, when I think about what they told us for 2 years straight was sample. So there's some new people on here. That's why I want to say this, because it's going to be the first time you hear it. Y'all ready for this? It's so easy that sometimes the things that are easy to do are easy not to do, right? So we've heard for 2 years straight, sample, story, sort. It's literally that easy. You give a sample or you send a sample. You then tell them your story after they have their story, created their own story, and then you sort. You decide if they're a customer, a brand influencer, or a referral. They will end up in one of those three, because you don't want to know. A no is later or maybe. And everybody I look at is a potential brand influencer, because I've never met anybody that's like, I have plenty of energy, more money than I can ever spend, and I'm doing amazing. No, everybody that has more, they need more money to pay for all their bills. So don't look at somebody and go, oh, I don't want to approach them because they have a boat and a house and a Ferrari. Yeah, they need this more than the person that doesn't have all that stuff, I think, because they've got bigger bills. So don't feel like you can't approach someone. Don't prejudge. We have learned that over and over and over. You don't prejudge someone because you don't know their situation.
I'm going to lead right into, I think that'll transition into like, where do we start? So we want to get samples out. Now, for me, a sample can be, I always lead with a 30-day sample, because I just feel like if I can share the value of our products, then I just tell people to pick which one will work for everyday consistency. As far as coffee, cocoa capsules, I feel like everybody should like the Defend. If they don't, then mix it with something else, because the benefits are so great. And then the same thing with the tea. And I'm straight honest, y'all. I hate tea. I don't like sweet tea. I don't like tea. I don't even like our tea. But the benefits are so good that I mix it with something to enjoy it. I mean, I can tell y'all right now, if I told y'all right now to go eat a pile of dog crap and it would do what our tea did, you'd figure out a way to eat it because it's so great, right? And so that's just, I have that passion behind our products because I believe in them so much. And you can be brand new and you don't have to know the ingredients. In fact, I don't even want you to know the ingredients, but all you need to do is you need to have the confidence, 100% confidence that our products are backed by science and they do what they say they're going to do. And that way, when that comes across to that person, then they're like, okay. But if they're still skeptical, that's when you fall back on an actual sample that's just for taste. Okay. Everyone, please understand that the sample's for taste. So when they come back to you on day 2 and you're like, what did you like best? And they're like, I didn't lose 5 pounds. Well, they're not supposed to. So you set the wrong expectation for them. So as long as they know it's just for taste, it takes 14 days of any nutritional supplement to be in our system to feel the full benefits. So a sample's just for taste. So make sure you know that as a new person. Okay, so when you say, here's the thing, Jennifer, if I met you on Facebook or on TikTok, like I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, she's so awesome on social media. Like I'm going to grow a business on social media. It's going to be so, so simple. Y'all, social media does not work like that. Social media is all about consistency. I could go on for hours, and I'm not going to, about social media and building on social media. If that is the only thing you are doing, then you better have like a PhD in social media because it's constantly changing. Constantly. So if all your eggs are in the basket of social media, you got to be ready for a lot of failures. You got to be ready for this to be a lot slower. So I want you to start really thinking, and I don't have a really fancy picture. This is actually from when we met with Andy last time, but I loved it. I drew all these circles. I don't know if y'all can see them, whole bunch of circles, okay? The very center is starting with you. Okay, you're going to start with yourself. That's you having the belief, you having your own story with your products. Y'all, the story you tell is the most powerful one. Okay, and that doesn't mean a weight loss story. It's about fueling your body, getting healthier from the inside out. That is not always about the pounds and the size pants you wear. So get that out of there. It's about how you sleep, how you feel, how your gut health is, all those things. But you know what we always tend to do? We like to skip over the next circle and the next circle and the next circle. And we like to go all the way out to the world. Because guess what? If the world on social media tells us no, it doesn't crush us. So we skip our family, our friends, our community, because they actually know us. So if they tell us no, we're like, oh gosh, they told me no. Yeah. Those are the people that know, like, and trust you already. It's okay if you have people tell you no. You need to have the confidence to keep going. They're going to keep watching you. And you're either going to quit because of it or your why is intact and you're going to keep going. So you're going to go to your family, all right? And you're going to go to your friends. And they might be like, well, sister, you've done 25 businesses. And I'd be like, yeah, Jennifer Irvin's done 75 and she's the #2 income earner in the company. Like, so there. But you got to have a sense of confidence with this because you're going to hear no's. But it goes family, it starts with you, family, friends, community. So like your friends, parents, or people at church, or soccer moms, whatever, your community, your town. Then it goes state, country, world. But so many of us are jumping like, I met Jennifer on TikTok, so I'm just going to be famous on TikTok. And then you're like, I keep getting on TikTok and nothing's happening. No, back it up, sister. Go back to you. Go back to family. Go back to friends, referrals. That's how you have to grow. Y'all, get your eggs in a whole bunch of different baskets. So you can still do social media, but I don't want you to feel like a failure when it's not working right away. So you need to work all of the different aspects of that. I was going to say something else. Add to that, Jennifer. I was going to say something else
Well,
about
87, I've seen this time and time again. 87% of business in most businesses, whether you're in real estate, you cut hair, you have your own business, is from referrals. And we forget that. We have a 3 for free program that our company has set up for us. And we forget these extra things, the VIP club, for being a customer. Our company gives us so much that we forget all the tools in our toolbox. And that is a blessing to have, to go, well, crap, I forgot to tell him that, I just ran into a friend of mine a while ago and she was telling me about her Frenchie and about how she had to take him to the vet. And I'm thinking, we have that, the telehealth thing and then the pet insurance and all this stuff that we forget about because we get so excited about that person and about the sample and about how they're going to feel that we completely forget all this other greatness that our company has. So make sure you are plugged in. I know that's what we had talked about earlier too, Erin, is
So
hopefully that's what you're talking about next, is being plugged in is so important. So give yourself a pat on the back for being here tonight. Just the fact that you told your family, hey, I got to do this for 30 minutes. That shows you are plugged in and you're going to do whatever it takes. And I tell people all the time, what if this took you 5 years to break free financially? Are you going to have to draw a line in the sand every single month or every single year? Or what does that look like to recommit? Or do you going to have to do it every single day? Because for me, it's like, it's okay if it's every single day that I got to recommit myself, because the fact that I haven't quit and given up on myself is huge. But you guys have to make the same commitment. Me and Erin can want this for you guys. We can give you all the tools that we know tonight. But if you don't take this and run with it and stay plugged in, it's like going to church. If you don't go or you don't listen online, it's easy to like stray away.
So that's the same thing. And I compare it to church too, because I used to go, like when I'd go to church camp, I would leave I always called it a Jesus high. It probably sounds horrible that I'm saying this out loud, but you leave there and you're just like, so excited. And then it's like camp fades away and you just start going again on the weekends. And it's like, and I hate to compare it to that because I'm like, you should be on a Jesus high all the time. Anyways, but I'm just saying, plugging in is so important because it keeps you believing. It builds that belief. And Andy's taught us it takes 100% belief, y'all. 99% belief in this industry, in this company, will kill your business. That little bit will get in there, seep in there, and it'll poison the rest of it. So plugging in isn't just because like, hey, there's another Zoom, I'm working my business. That's not working your business. Those are not action steps. But when you plug in, you get the belief. You leave here right now, you're probably like, yes, I can do that too. Okay, girl, yeah. And you're like, okay, excited. Whenever you do that, which is why I have a prime list. I have podcasts I listen to, books, just like Jennifer was saying earlier, songs that I turn on because I know it can get me from like, follow-ups to like, follow-ups. Like, I know it can get me from that to that. So if you don't have that list, like I have it ready to go. I know before a Zoom, I got to get up and I got to move my body. I got to drink my water. I got to be like, yes, because people feed off of your energy. So when I get on every 4:00 Zoom, I don't need to get on every Tuesday. Why? The training, but I get on because I take a little piece of it and I'm like, yes, I know my why. But when I hear other people talk about it, it fuels me and it thinks like, oh my gosh, look at their story. And I try to take their story and take what it can inspire me or help other people with it. So I plug into those to continue pouring into my belief, because your belief dictates your behavior. Andy says that all the time now. Belief dictates your behavior, meaning when you believe 100%, your behavior is going to show in your actions. When you believe 100%, you're going to send the sample. You believe you're going to share in a Starbucks in a weird environment about the business because you're so fired up, because you believe so much that this has changed your life. Like, this has changed my family's life. Like, I never have lived a life like I have now. And I'm not talking about all the material things. I'm talking about just the stress-free of finances and time freedom. But I know how much it's done for me. Why would I not want to bless other people with that same gift that's been given to me? So you have to believe, y'all, 100%. And the only way I know to do that is to stay plugged in, get away from negative energy, unplug from the negative people, just let them go, bless them, release, like that, like, and then plug into something that's going to build you up. And everybody's going to be different. If there's someone in this group that you're like, you know what, I listen to them and it doesn't really lift me up, let them go. It's okay. This is your future, your family's legacy. This is for you. So don't just show up and think like, I did all these Zooms. The Zooms are for you. So if you're not leaving there with belief, then get off of them. You can build your business the way you want to build it. This is just the way I know that's worked for us. So
I know that leaders don't miss anything. We don't miss an event. We don't miss a call. We don't miss anything that's happening, because you could hear one thing that literally changes your business and you go, I'm going to build the rest of my business off of this belief because I heard one thing that's going to change everything. Just like Erin said, And Andy asked us the other day, he went around the room and he said, okay, I want each person to say yes or no. If everybody quit in this company but you, are you all in? And we're like, yes. The next person. If everybody quit in this company but you, are you in? Everybody would say yes. But do you truly mean it? Like, that's how grounded you have to be to your why, and your belief has to be through the roof. Erin was talking to me earlier about, the three things, because I've introduced her to this guy that I love that kicks your ass every morning. And she's like, oh, I love this. It's Andy Frisella. If you guys are ready for that, like, extreme ownership and listening to that no victim mentality. And we literally said the same thing, but different words when we talked on the phone earlier. Of your why is anchored to your goals, and your goals are anchored to your vision and your dream. And if all three of those are not connected and in alignment, it's real hard to do any of those without the other one, because you got to know the path that you're on. Andy told us one day when we were in the office, he said, all right, if you're going to set out and go to New York City, you're not just going to start driving and go, well, shit, I hope I make it there. You're going to put in the address and you're going to hit go, and your GPS is going to take you there. That's how you have to run your business. You have to have a plan of action. And so that's why we're so passionate about helping you guys figure what that looks like out. Everybody's different. Some people may work 60 hours a week. Some people may be stay-at-home moms. But whatever you are, you've got to base, you got to do your life. Leslie Zahn used to say this on your calendar. You've got to calendar your hours for your business. How many hours are you willing to put in a week? Are you willing to put 10 hours a week? Okay, if you're going to want to make XYZ, let's say you want to make $2,000 a month and you're only willing to put an hour in a week, you're not going to make $2,000 a month. You got to put a little bit more effort in each day. It's kind of like a multiplication problem. And it has to be consistency every single day. I promise you, the ones that are consistent and persistent, it shows. Like, the results end up happening. Because if you're talking to new people every single day, just because you get 20 no's, somebody's eventually going to go, I've been praying for you to slide up in my inbox and bless me with this. Like, I've been on my hands and knees praying for this. So don't get distracted when you get a no, because they're holding you back from the next blessing. If you don't keep going and you give up, I mean, that's all part of the plan. Like, you've got to keep that blessing going, and you've got to get the products in more people's hands, and you got to get more samples out. And we've got to do these things as a team and as a whole and as a company, because we can't change the world by ourselves. It's got to take every single person on the Zoom to say, I'm all in, whatever it takes. Here's my sacrifices. And I'm telling y'all, I have made sacrifices in this business. So has Erin. So has so many people on this Zoom, that I promise you, if you ask anybody that is in love with their business or where it's been at some point, they have made a crap ton of sacrifices. Erin's got kids. She's got a husband. She's got sisters. She's got a big old family, right? But she's making those sacrifices, and you have to sacrifice something, whether it's Netflix or, things that aren't serving you in your future. And I don't mean that mean, like, you get to choose what that looks like. So if you want to work 15 minutes a week, we're here for it. And we're going to love on you where you're at. But when you're not happy with that paycheck, we're going to bring up the why and say, remember why you're doing this business? So you can retire your mom, so you can take your kids to Disney World, so you can do these big things. You can't do it if you're not committing and having sacrifices.
But with that too, don't forget that it's okay to unplug a little bit too. And Andy's told us that. He's like, because sometimes I'm like, I feel like I was working, 30 hours today. I know there aren't 30 hours in a day, but I'm just saying. And he's like, stop. And I do. I set my phone down, and it was very hard for me at first, but I'm intentional. But I set my hours throughout that day, because I want my kids to also know that I'm intentional. So we will do game nights. We will do some movie nights, not a whole bunch of movie nights, but I will be intentional during that time. We also, as a family, and this has been a game changer on Sundays. I mean, thank goodness I have the most amazing, supportive husband ever. I'm like, I don't know how many of y'all met him, but I promise he is so supportive. And like, we just game plan on Sunday so that we're all on page. We've had a game plan for this summer and what the kids want to do and what that looks like for me, because I'm running for big goals. But communicate with your family so that they're on board with you. So they kind of know what that looks like. So they're not like, well, but you can't play a game with me tonight. Like my kids already knew, like tonight I'm going to be on a Zoom. That's okay. I'm going to play Uno in just a little bit. Don't y'all worry. But what that looks like for you. So when you leave this Zoom, let me give a couple of little action steps. Is that okay, Jennifer?
Please do.
So,
you're the queen of action right now.
Plan of action, y'all, because you're going to leave here and you're like, oh my gosh, so much great information. But it goes down to simplified, to the things that are going to actually grow your business, which is sample story sort. And we already talked about getting those samples out, whether it's a 30-day sample, whether it's a sample, a single sample, whatever that looks like. But I need y'all to go back to your list. And I need you to remember that it starts with your belief. Go back to your family, your friends. You may have talked to your cousin Sue 2 years ago, but Sue's in a different place now. You're in a different place now. So go back, always have your list. And that's one thing Andy talked to me about it, and he was like, go back to your old list. Go back to those people. You might be in a different spot now. So always have a list. There's Jennifer's list. But go back to your family, your friends, your community. Like I'm trying to reach out to some nurses now to see if there's any hospitals that are opening up to where I could come in and bless them with maybe like a coffee bar. Or if I could do, Rick and Carrie are amazing at doing booths. Like if that's something and you want to be in front of people as things are opening up, get in front of people. Share this with them. They do so well with that. And that's something that you could do in your community. So use other resources besides just social media and know that you can make a difference being in front of people, but it's all about getting them the benefits of the product with the business in mind. So what does that look like? Sometimes you're like, what does that look like? So whether you're starting that conversation with them and you know what to say, or maybe you are just talking to them on social media. And Jennifer, I don't know. I mean, everybody has different videos or whatever. If you ever want to use any of mine, like y'all know, I'm open to what I always share, whatever. But I have one that I created about the benefits of the products, and that's what I share with everyone. There's some in our back office. You just find one, or if you don't like any of them, just make your own. Like you own and operate. Take this business as your own. I promise it'll make Andy so proud if you just take it as your own and you start working it. But whatever makes you proud to share it with someone and just say like, hey, I don't know if you're, struggling right now with sleep or whatever that conversation y'all started. Just say, take a look at this video and see if there's any products in here that make sense to you that would help with your health. And it goes into at the end, do you want to get your referral link or a customer link? And so right there, it ends with which one of those do you want? So you can lead into the business. And then after that, don't feel like you need to know everything about the business. Use a third-party tool. Okay, so then you share a video, either the recorded one from past Thursday or have your own, or your upload, whoever's done a video about the business, then you share that with them. So don't make it hard. Have a system for how that goes. That's what I do. I have a system for how I'm sample story sorting every person that I connect with. So have a goal with how many people you're going to talk to a day, whether that's in person, online, doesn't matter. And then have a system for what step you are. You might just be in the pre-sample part. You might be asking questions, discovery, where are they going with this? But make sure that you're part of the system so that it's easy to duplicate and follow. And then from there, I want y'all to always remember, y'all, Thursday nights are huge. Why are they so big? You're like, well, Erin, but I already sent them a business video. Everything we should be doing right now should be anchored to Thursday nights. Our CEO, our freaking CEO and owner. Do y'all know other companies, their CEO doesn't show up on anything except for big events? Like, do y'all realize that? Our CEO shows up on Thursday nights, and the way he does the presentation, he doesn't just do it like get on there. There's a psychology behind that, in case you're wondering. Like, he's way smarter than, well, if y'all met him, you already know how freaking smart he is. But I'm just saying there's a psychology behind the way he does it. Everybody that shows up as a guest on Thursday night freaking signs up in the business. He is the best of the best. So what you want to do, I'm not saying hold off until Thursday night to get someone into the business. I'm saying if it's a Monday and you're in your system of sample story sort and you've already sent them the business presentation, then you know what you do? You drive them to get more people into the business. Say it's Tuesday, they sign someone up. It's Wednesday, they sign someone up. It's Thursday, you get everybody working to bring people to Thursday night, because that's our owner and CEO. And when you drive everybody to Thursday, Guess what happens? Friday is when they get their app downloaded right afterwards. Friday, you're going to set up an appointment with them so that you can get their getting started checklist ready to go. And guess what happens on Saturday? Steve's training. Now, all that's recorded too, so you never wait. Urgency is important. But I also want y'all to always remember that Thursday night, if we anchor everything to Thursday night, it's going to grow your business because you're reaching towards a goal. I hope that makes sense to y'all. But that's, I dropped my phone. That's how in my head it makes sense. So I feel like if you just have a simple system, don't get stuck to like, oh my gosh, this person asked me like, what should I take for sleep? You should already know. Here's a video. This person asked me like, oh my gosh, like how much do we get paid? Oh, they're interested about the business. Do they already know about the benefits? Because I'm going to back up a little bit. Sometimes you got to slow down to go fast, right, Carrie? Slow down to go fast. So you back up. I always send over before, even if they're interested straight into the business, I go back and give them the benefits video because I want them to feel confident with what we're sharing. I know you want to make a ton of money and they're like, I just want to jump in the business. You're having so much success. And I'm like, you don't even know what we're doing. Like, I want to back up and let them have belief in the benefits first with the business in mind, because I don't think they're going to have success if they just jump straight into the money part of it. You got to have the heart of it. You got to have the belief in what our products are doing. So that's all I have to say, girl.
Tell everybody, you're amazing. Tell everybody how many BIs you've signed up in the last 2 months?
I don't know, girl.
How many were in your holding tank at one point? Wasn't it like 29?
I did have 29 in there.
Y'all.
Before Andy moved.
Yeah. And you know why? Because she's so intentional. Like, she's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take these things and I'm going to put them into action. And Andy tells us all the time, the only way to get to success is to fail and to see what's not working and try again and try again and try again. Like, I will tell you, in April, I've had so many people go, that's not for me. Because I was doing it completely wrong. I was like, oh my gosh, you're going to be amazing at this. And they're like, what? Like, they hadn't even had their sample because I was so fired up for them that it was one of those push-pull things, like the force and flow. It has to flow. And if it doesn't feel, I told Coach this morning, I said, the way Andy is teaching us right now, it feels so genuine when you're talking to someone and you're saying, hey, let me ask about you. Let me figure these things out about you and make it about them. Then it just makes the whole process just so much sweeter. So I want to open this up for questions. If you'll just type them in the chat, that way it'll be easier for us to grab them. And as soon as the questions are over, we will end this Zoom. But I'm so grateful y'all got on tonight because this is some powerful information that we've been getting from the source and from Andy. And we want to duplicate it. We want it to be so simple that it is duplicatable. And it is. It's literally so simple that sometimes we're like, oh shit, sending a sample takes literally 30 seconds and I forgot to do it yesterday. Let me do that real quick. Don't beat yourself up that you're not sending out, 100 samples a week. Start small and say, okay, how many can I get out each day? And then start over again the next day. And you know what I always tell people? Win the week. If you have had a crappy Tuesday and, you had a flat tire on Wednesday and all hell broke loose on Thursday, make up for it on Friday, because you're going to wish. So in network marketing, what happens is it goes by faster and faster and faster and faster. And the weeks, like when Erin was talking about Thursday, by the time you know it, it's already Thursday again. It's already Thursday again. But at the same time, you're getting paid to work on yourself. We were talking about this earlier about this is the only industry that you get a paycheck for learning more about yourself. Like, I don't know any other career where they're like, okay, if you just read a self-development book, we're going to give you a raise. They don't care. And they should care because you would be a better employee. You would be happier. You would be confident. But if you feel stuck, y'all know that talk to me all the time. The two things I always say, the two questions to ask yourself is, how much self-development am I working on every day? And how many new people am I talking to? You can literally get unstuck by those two questions every single time. Every single time. It's crazy how those two questions can answer that. So if nobody has questions, speaking of questions, we are going to let you guys put all this into action. use your worksheet. Like Erin said, I don't care if you've been in 3 years or 3 months. Start over every single month and go, okay, I'm going to put in the work and I'm going to go EBI again and again and again. I don't care if you're regional. I don't care what it is. Do it again.
And know what that goal is. So I say, if you just started like an hour ago and you're like, what the heck are they talking about? I still think that you should have written out right in front of you, clear as day, what it takes to hit senior. If you don't know, then it's just like Jennifer was talking about. You're on a road without a map. Like, you're gonna get lost. I get lost with a map. Oh my gosh. But like, Andy was talking to me about that even last week. He was like, all right, your goal for platinum should be so clear. But what happens is it gets blurry because you're like, oh my gosh, but this leg is here and this leg's here and blah, blah, blah. He's like, the only way to clarify it is you just go all the way in and you take little bitty pieces of it every single day. And those little pieces will lead to the big goal. But if you don't know what it takes to get there, if you don't know how to get to senior, you're like, but I'm not even qualified yet. That's okay. You know what the goal is. And if you aren't working towards that goal, you'll never get there. You're just going to go all over the map and end up in the same spot. So know your goal, but then break it down to bite-sized pieces, whatever that looks like for your daily action. And yes, begin with the end in mind. That's exactly what he said, Carrie. Thank you.
Yes, he did. It's just so impactful when you put these things into action. It was like yesterday. It was like, I'm being super intentional with people who I have built relationships with. And I wanted them to take advantage of, the discount that was yesterday. Mm-hmm. But like I said in the beginning of this, don't let that like crush you because your person, didn't say yes yesterday or whatever. Like, it's still a great week to get started. If you guys weren't on the 4:00 Zoom, you missed a big Zoom. Yes, I'm so glad you asked, Melissa. We were just about to talk about that. We were going to end with the double revenue share match. I'm going to let Erin talk about that.
That's fine. Hold on, wait. There was another question. How do you sort through people to add on social media that you don't know?
I always go back to like new friends. Like, if I want to go comment on their stuff, I sort it to like newest friends. There's a little section on there that you can hit. And I hope that's the question they're asking.
I think they're just trying to figure out how do they know to add them or not. Like, kind of look at their stuff on their Facebook page. Do you connect with them in some way? Like, you can message them and be like, hey, I saw, I don't know. I just say start talking to people. But I'm kind of like, this is for my business. Like, I'm kind of over the attraction marketing thing.
Yeah. I'm like, I have so many network marketers on my Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. Someone asked, Carrie, yes, you can give an example of the discovery and then we'll end with the double.
Okay. A girl reached out to me over my back fat picture with a slim tee. And she was like, tell me more about this. And I said, hey, can I call you so we can talk about what might work best for you? Literally went from her interest to jumping on a phone call, all by asking her questions of what her health goals are, finding out all these different things and how she could be blessed with an opportunity. Like, she was to tears with how strong her why is to go ahead and jump and be a part of this company. Like, it went straight from this, and she hasn't tried the product yet. And that's not often that happens. But if you take the time and you just spend a little bit, 6 minutes on the phone with someone, walking through what would be best for them. And then she's like, yeah, I really could benefit from that. Like, let's go. I trust you. I'll try it. And she's not signed up yet, but she will by tomorrow at midnight. I guarantee it. But all because I had her get on the phone and ask questions. Don't be afraid to talk to people.
I love that.
Love it. You do. You got to be confident. And the confidence comes from the self-development. It's crazy how all this works together. Just like our products work better together. That's why Erin leads with the Get Fit bundle. That's why we talk about that first, because they need all these products. I talked to a lady the other day and she was interested in weight loss. And I said, weight loss is great. But at the same time, like, people, after last year, people care so much about being healthy that the weight loss is just a bonus. Like, if they know that their immunity is healthy and they've got more energy and they feel better, to me, that's a huge win. The weight loss is just an added bonus. So don't feel like you have to lead or have a great weight loss story. I don't have one. And I have a great story with Defend with my migraines. It has literally been life-saving. I know we're not allowed to say that, but I'm saying like it is completely changed my life. I get 15 days of my life back because of Defend. And so just because I haven't lost a ton of weight doesn't mean I can't talk about, what the other products have done for me. So don't shy away from telling your story because you're not shaking your butt on TikTok like Erin, and have this great weight loss story. Use her story for the weight loss, use somebody else's story for the sleep, like use everybody's stories and, ask, get in good vibes or get in whatever group you're in and say, hey, like, who's got testimonies? I need some testimonies. Don't be afraid to ask questions, even in the team groups, because we are all stronger together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Someone just said, what if you're a stay-at-home mom? So you're going to have to realize if you're not getting out there and your kids, friends, you don't have any connections, you're not at church, you're not at anything, and you are strictly building on social media, which I still would be like, let me see your phone. Let me see your contact list. You don't have any contacts on there? Or are those just people you're too scared to talk to? Like, that's what I would ask you first. But you just have to know social media is going to be, don't be like, I made one post and I didn't have people attacking me for the product. Because I'd be like, yep, that's not going to happen. Until you have people, someone said earlier, Jordan was talking about people that you connect with and Melody, like it is about a true connection. Remember, people feel the reason you want to start with family and friends is because they already know, like, and trust you. On social media, one post, I read those all day long. That's why going live is important on social media. So if you're for sure a stay-at-home mom and you are not out there talking to people face to face or like letting people hear you and it's just words, you need to be going live, because when you go live, people can feel your heart. I could have typed all this up in a 12-page document and nobody would have read it. Maybe Jordan, but that would be it. But other than that, or maybe Carrie. But I'm just saying, like, it means so much more when you hear people talking about it. When it's written out, that's what your post looks like. You're like, I put so much heart in that. It was 12 paragraphs long. I don't know why I keep saying 12, but nobody cares, y'all. They honestly, like, I know you poured your heart into it, but more than likely they probably scrolled right past it and didn't even read past the first sentence because it didn't keep their attention span. But if you catch them on a live and you're going live and you're sharing your heart and you can emotionally connect with them, there is a psychology to all the lives and stuff, but you have to get better. And the only way you can get better is to start and just do it scared. That's what I would say. Genuinely connect with people. And Kayla, yes. Kayla's, y'all, if y'all don't follow Kayla on social media, she always shares, which is so funny. One day I called her and I was like, yeah, I don't do social media like you do, but now I've figured out this is the way I want to do it. Like, I don't want to show up perfect because I'm not. Like, I want people to see that I'm not that person that I keep filtering and like, whatever, like I am real and I do have feelings. Like, it's okay to share your hot mess express. Like, people relate to that better. So if you follow her journey, like, she shares the good, the bad, the ugly. She just brings it along with her. And people are so attracted to that. She doesn't do attraction marketing. Actually she does, but she doesn't do like, do you want a red shirt or blue shirt? She does like, here's my life, either take it or leave it. Like, but I am Kayla, I am who I am. And there's something about being genuine that people fall in love with her so much because she's just going to say it like it is in her way. So just be you. You're good. Don't go follow everybody else and try to be like them. That's not what people want, because the real you's going to come out. If you weren't expecting greatness, getting on to, oh, you're sweet. Okay, so let me end with the promo, y'all. This is double matches. So anybody that enrolled after midnight last night, was today? Today's Monday. So anyone that has a today's date, which is June 14th, start date, all the way until, what's the date? Carrie will know. No, not the date today. It goes
the 18th at midnight.
18th
Friday at midnight.
Okay, good. That's why I have Jordan and Carrie are up on the top right of my screen. I'm waiting for their heads to nod. So if that's their start date, y'all, so they get in this week. All right. Does that make sense? They enroll. They're going to get their regular shares. They're going to get a customer. They're going to get a share. So say Jordan, say I put in Jordan this morning. And I'm like, Jordan, join the business. Oh my gosh, she already on the product. She's a customer of mine. She's loving it. She's ready to get her own referral link, right? So she joins. She gets 3 customers. She's going to get 3 shares, right? I'm going to get matches, okay? Now, if I'm in my first 90 days, I'm getting 25% as my match. Do y'all realize that? It's 25% no matter your star level. If you're out of your first 90 days, you get a match of whatever star level you are. But this week, all of those people that you get a match with, it's doubled. That's a lot. That's a lot. So 25%, if you're in your first 90 days, you're getting 25%, then you're going to get double of that, y'all. That's a big deal. So here's the cool thing. So Jordan's new, right? She gets her shares. I get her matches. Jordan puts in Carrie. So Jordan's, not only am I going to get her matches, but Jordan now put in somebody. She gets a double dip. I mean, who don't want a double dip instead of a single dip, right? And so Jordan gets her shares. Then she put in a new person. She's going to get double those matches. Like, so that's a big deal to not only put somebody in new so you can get it, but holy crap, when you put in somebody that puts in somebody, they're like, bam, double it up. And they're going to be like, I don't know what company this is and what's going on, but they pay me a whole bunch of money. And it's exciting.
You don't know what you're going to get paid, but it's going to be big. That's all you need to know.
Right?
You don't need to know the comp plan. Just get customers and sign people up. Literally, it's 2-part system.
It is. It is. So don't make it too hard, y'all. Double dip is the only way to dip. That's right. When you dip, I dip. Okay, no. Oh, so it's exciting, y'all. But here's the thing. You got to have the energy behind it. When you're not excited and when you're like, oh my gosh, I don't really know what to do. Like, I'm kind of confused. I don't know. You sit still and you watch everybody else and you're like, what are they doing? Okay, wait, Erin just posted that. So I guess I'll post that. No, I'm in Messenger and I'm like, holy cow, Jordan, I know you talked about joining the business and you weren't really sure, but listen, oh my gosh, right now this week they are double dipping. I know you don't know what shares are. It doesn't really matter. You want to get started right now. Let's get you some customers, but who do you know that would do this business with you? Because you're going to get matches on that. I know you don't know what that is, but I'm just telling you, it's a way to get into the business right now because you already love the benefits, and let's bless other people with the benefits. How are they going to tell you no? Like, you got so excited. But when you're like, hey,
I want that energy, girl.
I know, but that's what it's about, y'all. It's the energy that people feed off of. When I call Jordan, I'm like, hey, so we have this special going on and it's cool. Like, I don't really know what it is. She's like, what the hell are you saying? So practice it. Practice it. I do this all day, every day. So like, I feel like it just like comes to me like that. And it does, because I do it all day, every day. And I practice what I preach. I am always sample, story, sort, sample, story, sort, sample. I'm doing the work. So I know what it feels like. I know what to say because I've been doing it for 4 years. Like, people are like, how do you know what to say? I'm like, because I failed 5,000 times and I said the wrong thing until I figured it out. But a lot of it comes from your energy. And I'm always, because I pride myself, before this, I might have been like this, but I wasn't. Because I was on TikTok and I was like, what? TikTok.
Oh God, I love it. Well, I hope you guys can feel her energy and feel the blessing that this company can give. I always say time freedom is the biggest blessing you can have. You just can't put a price on that. Time, like you getting to pick when you do your business, when you see your family, when you go to whatever you need to do. But just like I talked about on the call this morning, if you were on it, you don't know what's waiting for you in 3 years or 5 years down the road when you need time freedom. So you better put in the work now so that later on, when you do need it, you're not going, well, shit, I wish I would have sample story sorted on that after that Zoom on June 14th when the revenue shares were doubled. I wish I would have went a little bit faster and not just plugged in and listened to self-development, because that's a huge part of it. But the action is what is going to get you, is bridging that gap. It is going to go, oh, that's what it feels like to get someone started and help them go EBI and help them go senior and help their dreams come true. Because like Coach always says, when you make it about them, you don't even realize that what you're needing, your needs will be met, but you don't really care. You're like, okay, let's make it about them. I'm so excited for them getting in. So if you're new tonight, I just want to thank you again for being on tonight. I know, Virginia, you are on here and I'm so proud of you. You signed up Saturday night at 11:59:59. Look at you. Yes. So happy you're here.
Hi, everybody.
One day in the business, y'all. And I know it is not, it is just meant to be that you and I connected. Our husbands actually met and were talking about how great their wives were. I mean, why wouldn't they, right? And so they're talking, and then they're like, we need to get them their phone numbers because they would really connect. And we had an instant connection, y'all. She wanted products, and I told her she wanted to get 2 more bundle packs or 2 more products for her daughters. And I was like, Virginia, sister, let's talk for a second. You get the Get Fit bundle, you get both of your daughters as customers. You've already earned revenue shares and you're on your first bonus. And she's like, what? Tell me more. She's like, and I am a hustler and I am stubborn. So if I tell my husband, like, I'm doing this, he knows. And I was like, oh girl, we are going to have so much fun and get along great because I'm the same way. Like, back up. If I see something in my future that's going to change my life, I'm not going to let anything get in my way. And so I feel that way about you, Virginia. I know there are more people that are on here for the first time, and I just am so grateful that you guys said yes, because that's the first step. Did you have any questions, Virginia? I got your text message. So
yeah,
definitely don't wait.
I was wondering if I should wait till I try the product before I start promoting it, or should I just send out my samples? Because I already have my list.
Send them. Get them
Send
all.
them? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Here's the thing. Here's why you don't need a story. This is what I tell people. You don't need a story because everybody's going to feel a different benefit. If I were to call everybody out on here and say, what's your favorite thing about Defend? Somebody might say taste. Somebody might say the energy. Somebody might say, you know, for me, it's the migraines. Everybody's different. So don't feel like because it did something for you that it's magically going to do the same thing for them. They may feel something different. That's why we don't want to mess up their experience with sampling this product. So get the samples out and call the friends and family that you know will benefit from this, and get them started on a Get Fit Bundle Plus because they're worth it. You know, Carrie talks about it's less than $5 a day for all of our products. Less than $5. You can't go to Starbucks and spend $5. You can't go to, I'm not going to say the company, but there is a company that is in our field that makes shakes and stuff, and you go to the place and they're $10. I know people that go every day, and I'm like, have you added that stuff up lately? 10 times 30 is a lot of money. Like, if you did that every day, but they get this instant packet to mix whenever they want, wherever they want, however they want. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's the company I'm a part of. The Abundance Company and the Simplicity Company. So let's freaking go to the moon. It's 10:02. I want you guys to get off here and be able to put these things in action. Thank you, Erin, so much for always pouring in on us. You know, I always use your videos like no other girl because they are amazing. You guys, she is a nurse. So of course she's obsessed with the ingredients. If you're not, use her product video. You go to youtube.com, you type in Erin Pyka, and she has her product video there. If you don't know how to go to it, in Good Vibes. Like, figure it out. Don't wait to send somebody a video of what these products can do for them, because you could totally change their life just by opening your mouth and getting out of your own way for somebody else, because it's not about you, it's about them.
Love it.
So let's have a kick-ass week. Let's go May this week. Let's win the week. Let's get some rev shares matched. It's a big long word. When you were saying something earlier, Erin, I was like, all I can think about when you say what you do is Sally sells seashells by the seashore. There was a lot of S's. I was like, I'm gonna say I do something else. Like,
I'll try. All right.
take
Hey,
a picture if you guys want to.
Okay, let's take a picture and then send this to me. I'll upload it to YouTube.
Oh, good. Kayla, you look hot, girl. Woo!
Where is she? Oh, there she is.
I look scary, like I've been in the pool all day.
Hey, I'm coming. Like, just let me know when the weather's perfect, because I'm on my way, girl.
It's perfect. You should have come today.
Let's go.
I would have totally gone on a flight to come see you. I freaking miss you.
We could have shared one of those little beef sticks.
Yes, you girls were awesome tonight. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, we're just taking the fire down from the from the source, from the top. That's all we're doing.
I love it.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night. Thanks again for being on here. Thank you, Erin. Y'all go make it count this week and go do something uncomfortable tomorrow and tonight. Like, don't wait. Do something really uncomfortable that you go, holy crap, that was scary. Because you know what that means? That's growth. Isn't that exciting? Like, if you're not growing, you're dying. So go do something really uncomfortable tonight. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.